guys. Let's have a reason to do this again here maybe soon. At least over practice. So we're just telling our seniors, we plan on coming back after this week and still being in practice gear. So, sorry, quick look at, I'm just now seeing this for the first time, so. Okay, all right. Just kind of, I know, opening statement stuff, but it was a good week of practice for us. We kind of said, we did say, following the Denver win on Sunday, we were looking forward to coming home and having a full week here at the Mabee Center in Tulsa and having this last home game. We were one of just 2 teams, I believe, on the women's side that had a single game this week. And that was really nice because it wasn't, the week could kind of be about us and things that we needed to work on and things that we needed to do. And up until about 7.5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter, I was a very happy coach. You know, tie game at halftime. We even talked a little bit in the locker room at halftime that we felt like the tempo was in our favor. We felt like everything was moving our direction, and then that we were going to have a breaking open moment. And then when it did, we didn't continue to do the things at the defensive end that kind of had gotten us there. We got a little stagnant offensively, and I know at one point we subbed 4 people at one time, and I think instead of maybe helping the energy, we kind of flattened it even a little bit further because that's not something that we normally do, but that's my responsibility and my fault on that one. But very happy with our play today. I thought that when Faith had 10 free throws in the first half, you know, she's playing her game and getting out and doing what we need her to do. You know, we shot 34 free throws today, and that's a big part of what we've got to do as far as attacking offensively. And I was really happy, especially for those 32, 33 minutes, I was very happy defensively. And then when things got a little stagnant on the offensive end, you know, the defense kind of followed today. But I think the defense led us for those first 32 minutes. So happy to honor our seniors today. That can always be a little tricky too because you have kind of a special day for them, and really, really proud of them both and happy that we get through this game, get them a win today, and now we get one more week, you know, with preparation and getting healthy and being ready to go for the conference tournament. So good effort by the girls today.
Obviously, you talk about getting healthy. You were able to play 9 deep for back-to-back games, first time in a long time.
It was like a football team, like 9 whole bodies. I know.
Talk to us about how that felt to have, you know, as healthy a team as you had in a couple months.
Right, right. Well, I think that's, you know, there were glimpses today, just glimpses, not a, you know, and I would say probably stretches of 4 to 5 minutes even at times that it was kind of who we were before the whole cycle of injury began. It really was a cycle. You know, at different times we had up to 4 starters who were hurt this year, and it wasn't all 4 at one time, but it was usually 3 at a time. You know, and then you kind of gain one back and then lose another one, and it's been almost laughable, you know, at times with some of the things that we've dealt with a little bit. But a week ago, my comments were, I felt like these last 2 weeks would give us a chance and give us an opportunity to practice hard enough again that we could get back to that original identity that we forged in November, December, early January. The game for us at Denver on Sunday was much more a pace and a tone of who we were before we began to have some depth issues. And practice was that way all this week. So I knew it wouldn't be perfect basketball coming out today, but I knew it would be aggressive basketball. I knew it would be an attacking style that fits us well. We didn't hit on all cylinders today, but we worked hard enough to hit on all cylinders today, and we were able to kind of do that with our depth again. So I sure like our opportunities that are out in front of us in Sioux Falls a lot more now than I did even a week ago, much less 2 or 3 weeks ago. And the girls can feel it too. The girls felt it all this week during practice. I know they'll come in and be ready to go Monday with practice as well. We'll get to practice for 4 days before loading up and going up to Sioux Falls. And we've been in that phase as a team and as a coaching staff that there's been times that you're just a little helpless, you know, this year with what you're able to do. And now we're kind of getting back to the point that we're getting back to our full strength again. And so it's happening at the perfect time, you know. There's a little bit of a crescendo for us again right now, and it couldn't come at a more opportune time for us either.
How do you think Jordy did first game back in?
You know, Jordy would have just stayed on the court the whole time if she could have, and we kind of told her we're going to put you in, you know, 2-minute spurts, and we kept her in a little long there in the 4th quarter, but I think it was just good for her to get the ring rust off a little bit because she really has only had a couple of full days in practice, but I think She got out and ran for us today. I thought we had her in opportunities. You can tell shots off just a little bit with her free throws and some things like that, but she'll be right as rain in another week and be ready to go. And Jordy's such a, you know, this from following her throughout this year, she's just an emotional part of who we are too. So to get her back for us really is a boost to us.
Offensively, you guys did a lot of good things, especially in the second half, moving without the ball. Can you just talk to me about how moving without the ball helps create some open shots, especially some wide open threes on the women's team?
I think the biggest thing probably for that is that we've had to be so locked down in possession basketball during the bad weeks, just because of personnel, and so that's been the huge focus of last week's practice. It'll continue to be the focus of this next week's practice too, is just trying to be more in an attack mode after any defensive stop. We've always said this, and you know, Kaylin's a senior, you've seen this with her career, and Faith Iham also. Faith and Kaylin, and really even Lakota, they're better when we're speedy between the free throw lines, you know, from defense into offense. And we spent about 3 weeks, probably, well, maybe 3.5, probably 7 or 8 games of our conference play, not walking it up, but having to get into a quick, you know, some kind of a set every time we're down the floor, just so that we could predict what we could get offensively. And the really nice thing on a day like today is, you know, Maria didn't have a great shooting game. Honestly, Faith didn't have a great shooting game today either, but the quantity of shots that we got and the quantity of attacks to the rim and free throws, that took care of a deficit for us. You know, when you're in possession basketball, you've got to shoot a great percentage, and today we got to be back to having a little bit more high volume and not having to be so concerned about if everyone else is going through the net or not. So,
as far as looking ahead to conference, what's the message in this next week of practice?
It's a message about us. It's not about the first round opponent. It's not about looking at a 3-game window. It's just got to be, we've got one game. You know, that's all we're guaranteed. You know, we've got one game, and our focus for our staff and our focus that will be given to our girls this whole week is just being focused on what we do. You know, being focused on what we do and just trying to polish it back to the point of where we felt like we were the strongest throughout the season and where we gave ourselves the best opportunities to go out and be successful on the floor. First round games at conference are always a little unpredictable. There's always some unusual bounces to the ball. There's hype can sometimes work against you. You know, if you make it too much about that, I'm probably not going to show any clips of Remember the Titans this week or anything like that. You know, it'll be more about, you know, us just really having to just get back to our first love, you know, of what we do as a program and at both ends of the floor. So.
Last question from me, Coach. As far as going into tournament time, if you guys play the way you played in the second half, do you think you can do the toughest matchup for anybody, including Western Illinois?
I do. I think we proved that with our non-conference schedule even, you know. Now, I'll tell you this, I've never seen our conference as strong as it is right now. We have got a fabulous, fabulous conference. I spent time in the last 24 hours, you know, working on our all Summit League votes and all the honors and stuff that are going around through personnel. And it's hard to whittle down an individual list with the amount of great players that are in the Summit League right now. From top to bottom. So that being said, when I say that we're focused on ourselves, we've got to play to our strengths, but we've absolutely got to be prepared for tendencies and the matchup difficulties that other teams pose as well. But I like our chances as well as anybody's when we're on our game and we're kind of hitting on all cylinders. But really proud of our women's basketball conference this year. I think we've achieved new heights as far as our conference rankings. We're concerned on a national level this year. I would have loved to have had a healthy roster to have tried to fight our way higher than where we're going to end up as far as our first round game is concerned. But kudos to all of our coaches around the league and what's happening on the women's side.
I have questions.
Good. Thanks, you guys. Appreciate it. Thank